Hey guys, I want to welcome you to this edition of the Mayor's Brief. You know, here in Rocky Mount, we have so many wonderful people who really are out to serve our community in very special and different ways. And I wanted to take this opportunity to highlight a number of the charities that work with us, work with our communities, and really focus on them so that you have a chance to know who they are, what they do, and just as importantly, how you can plug in. You know, I found that I was touched in my heart so many ways as I was doing these interviews, as I was talking to folks, and I was seeing all the impact that we're having on our community. You know, it just touches my heart. What I know is that you have the opportunity to touch other people. You have the opportunity to enrich our community through service to others. And I encourage you to watch this with the mindset of thinking, how can I touch someone this Christmas? Thank you. So, you know, look, I appreciate your story. I mean, you grew up in South Rocky Mount. You came back to town after playing, you know, a lot of ball and overseas in college, and been quite a success. And I appreciate you here at Moetivation. And, you know, so I really want you to tell me a little bit about what you're doing this Christmas, you know, for kids back in the old neighborhood, if you will. Yeah. And so, because I think that's important, and I think it's something that folks need to know.
Well, it's just, you know, it's been difficult for everyone during the COVID. Yeah. So it's just just trying to help out some of these families, you know, that's having a difficult time during Christmas. Yeah. So, you know, because of COVID coming, we're going to have to do a drive-through. But I said, what perfect way to do it is, you know, have a toy drive. So last year I did one, and we gave out about 1,500 toys. So my goal this year is to do 2,000. Right. So it's going to have to be a drive-through this year, as I stated. So, you know, I'm just excited to being able to do my part of giving back to where I grew up from.
Sure. And so where's the drive-through going to be? Is it going to be here at Moetivation?
No, it's actually going to be at South Rocky Mount Gym. Okay. It's going to be December 19th. Okay. From 1 to 4. So it's just going to be, we're going to have several toys, and then having cars come by so we can practice the social distance and stuff. Sure. And we'll just, you know, hand the toys over to the households, to the families.
So I think that's fantastic. So so that's the deal. Everybody can come by that time. And so let's just talk about some of the other initiatives that you've been doing in South Rocky Mount. You know what I mean? I know COVID's kind of put a clip on a lot of things. Yeah. But I mean, you've been doing basketball camps through the years, and, you know, really appreciate that. And this is a good chance to really talk about your motivational foundation and what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, well, that was one of my goals of coming home, was starting a foundation to help out in the community. I've always been doing things when I was coming home, but, you know, I wanted to be able to really stick here and, you know, make another name being here permanently. So I started the Moetivation Foundation, and just focusing on helping the youth. You know, I do basketball camps, I do book bag giveaways, just stuff in the community to help out, you know, help our community out here in Rocky Mount, North Carolina.
And so how do folks find out about some of these initiatives that you're doing? I mean, I know you're active on social media, but is there any other format other than just kind of being Mo's friend on Facebook? Because you're only limited to 5,000 people. Absolutely. And we got 55,000 people in Rocky Mount.
Yeah, well, I have the motivationfoundation.com. I have a website, and that explains a lot of stuff that I have going on. And that's, you know, that's basically it. I have everything on the website, and some of you guys as a Facebook friends, I'm very active on, you know, social media, just letting it be known what I'm doing here in the city. So I'm excited to be back home, for one, and, you know, with the holidays, and especially with the COVID thing, I'm just excited to do my part of helping out the community of this growing great city.
Well, I think that's really the point, is that it's really a community effort. I mean, we clearly have challenges, right? We're not no different than anywhere else. We do have a lower income rate than many other cities, but it's really a community effort. If we're going to fix it, it's not necessarily a government initiative, it's a community initiative. Absolutely. And everybody just needs to you know, pick up the shovel and just start digging and start moving dirt, or whatever we need to do to kind of make the community all the better. That's my at least estimation. Yeah. So I appreciate you for doing that, you know, on your own initiative, just because you feel like it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, I grew up here. I've been here my whole life. I was fortunate enough because of basketball to go off. But, you know, I could have went anywhere else in the world, and I want to come back home and be a part of the change and a part of the help. And, you know, I still have a lot more stuff to do, but I'm excited just to be home, like I stated. And I just want to do more to help this wonderful city.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate you taking the time today and explaining to us what you're doing. And, you know, Christmas time is a special time for everybody. And as you pointed out, COVID has been somewhat of a disruption, a big disruption for most everybody. And a lot of folks are, well, you know, concerned. I mean, because income is hard to do when you have to social distance.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just look forward to it again, December 19th, South Rocky Mount Gym. You can come down to Moetivation downtown and donate a toy. And we really appreciate it. Shout out to the Moetivation Foundation. You know, we got more things coming in the future, but I'm just excited again to be home.
Well, you know, that's another thing we really talk about is where can I contribute the toys? So I can do it here at Mo and D's.
Yeah, drop off at Mo and D's, or I think the South Rocky Mount Gym is closed now, but maybe if you can just knock on the door, I think Chris Allen will always be. Yeah, somebody will take it. Just say you donate and just take it down there. They'll grab it at the door for you. They're always down there working on.
Sure.
So they'll be there.
Let's talk a little bit about the types of things that you're looking for. You know, clearly it's a Coats for Kids type of initiative, but you're looking for a lot more than that, aren't you? So I mean, I think maybe it's important that we go through the list of what you're looking for, maybe even the age groups of which folks you're trying to attract items for. And so if you talk a little bit about that, I think it would be helpful for all of us.
Okay, I think more of just like from the ages from 3 and up, and I would just say toys, boys love basketball games,
Sure.
go-karts, tablets, coats, shoes, I mean, things like that. Anything that a young...
Socks or clothes. I mean, you're not looking for used stuff.
Yeah,
we're looking for new stuff, but, from the ages of 3 on up.
3 and up, yeah.
And really anything that you would give your kid for Christmas is what you're looking for.
Absolutely, yeah. Like we stated, coats, socks, shoes, toys, for little guys, basketballs, football, little girls, baby dolls.
Sure.
Just simple things like that. I think they'll really appreciate it.
Sure. So is there a particular age group that you find to be, that folks that you have the biggest need for? Is it younger? Is it kind of that mid-teen?
I think the more, I'm saying from ages 7 to 10 is where they said, because they've really started to understand the importance of Christmas and not receiving stuff and things like that. So I think that 7 to 10 age is like that age group that we want to take care of the most.
Okay. Well, great. Well, look, I appreciate you taking the time, man.
All right,
and thank you for all you're doing.
All right, thank you.
So I guess we're here at the Chamber. We're talking about Coats for Kids. Mm-hmm. And so I don't really know what it is. Walk me through it as if I am the biggest idiot on the face of the planet. Because it really matters. I mean, because what we're trying to do here at the Chamber.
Yeah, it is just an amazing, heart-warming event that I hold close to my heart each year. This is our 4th year that we are blessed to be able to do this for the community and the children. And I'm just looking forward to another successful year.
Sure. So the whole concept is we're bringing coats in. We have several different repositories which we can put these coats in. Where are those places?
Okay, we are accepting donations at the Greater Joey Baptist Church, that is on Nashville and Raleigh Road, downtown Rocky Mount, and Small Shops Marketplace, which is located on Sunset Road in Rocky Mount.
Right. Okay, great. And then I also understand that the Toyota dealership did us a solid, so we got to talk.
Yes.
We got to give them a shout out here.
Yes, it was wonderful. On Giving Tuesday, Trey and his team at Rocky Mount Toyota gave us a very generous gift to use towards purchasing new coats for the children.
Yeah, so I think really the point is we're going to take money all year long.
That's correct.
But we can apply them toward coats up until what date? What time?
Up until 12 p.m. on Saturday, December 12th.
Okay, so that's really soon. So we need to get our coats out to these different repositories. We will take cash. You guys will then convert those to coats. So tell me a little bit about how we distribute the coats. I mean, that's a big part of the whole process as well.
So we are distributing coats at both of the locations, at the Greater Joey Baptist Church and at Small Shops Marketplace, both in Rocky Mount, on December 12th between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m.
Yeah.
This year is going to be a little different. In years past, we would have the children come accompanied with the parents, and they were able to try on their coats. But this year, things are going to be different due to the COVID-19 restrictions. So we're going to do a drive-through.
Okay.
Drive-through at both locations. From 9 to 12, we ask that the parent be accompanied by the child in the vehicle, and we need your size and gender for the coat for your child.
Okay, so that raises a really great question. So what's the age bracket that we're looking for?
We're looking for new coats for children from the age of 1 to 12.
Okay, 1 to 12, that's sort of the magic size. So it's been a long time since I was 12. but anyway, those of you out there, I'm sure you understand exactly what that sizes are. And so we're looking for male, female, we're looking for brand new.
Brand
you
new
can
coats.
take them to these locations. And then who is eligible to receive a coat? How do I determine if I'm eligible to get one?
You drive up that day, and if you watch our program and look at the website, you'll know the procedure, and you can just drive up and we would gladly give you a coat for your child.
Okay, well, on that note, I'm a 44 regular.
I think we might have one or two left over. And there are times where we do receive coats for adults or children over the age of 12, and we are more than happy to also give those out as well.
So what are your favorite anecdotal stories about this event every year? You know, I know it's one of your favorite ones that's near and dear to your heart, but is there one thing that stands out the most through these couple of years?
Sure, just to see the joy on the child's face, the parent's face as they're checking, looking at their coats, picking out their favorite colors. And like I said, this year is going to be a little bit different. Yeah. But we hope to have the same feel-good experience with the child.
Sure. So it's sort of a virtual shopping kind of experience.
Correct.
But
we're all getting used to that.
Everything's become a little different that way.
It certainly has.
But anyway. All right, well, thank you so much for sharing this with us. And, and it's a big deal. It's something that I think will help our community, help those in our community who certainly need jackets. And we're coming about the coldest part of the year for us.
That is correct. And we have extended our drop-off for new coats and monetary donations through December 9th. And, of course, we will take them day of. And you also may drop off your new coat to the Rocky Mount Chamber office located right here in downtown Rocky Mount at the train station.
Sure. And I don't think we can overemphasize enough. We will take your money to the absolute end and continue to give it. And you can move it forward to next year, but we would really like that money as soon as you could possibly get it to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
Well, I'd like to start further back than that, if we can.
Absolutely.
I don't think a lot of people realize that we've been around since 1948. This program is 73 years old.
Right.
And by the way, it was started by a woman.
Okay.
There was a colonel, lieutenant colonel actually, in the reserve in Los Angeles. And his wife liked to do artsy craftsy stuff.
Sure.
And she made this really nice doll, but she didn't have any children to give it to. So she told her husband, go find a needy child and give him this doll.
Okay.
He came home and said, I can't find one. She says, well, then start one. Just like that. And he went back to his reserve unit and he says, why don't we do this? Why don't we collect used bikes, refurbish them, collect toys and hand them out? And that first year was just that one reserve center. And they serviced a bunch of kids in the Los Angeles, I think it was Los Angeles area. And he actually worked, because he was a part-time Marine, he was a reservist, he worked for one of the big studios that was part of Disney. This logo that's on the Toys for Tots boxes and that, Walt Disney himself designed that. In 1949, it's been the logo ever since. So the Marine Corps heard what this one reserve unit did. So the next year, the Marine Corps told every reserve unit to do it, and it's just grown from there. But it was that one doll with that one gal in 1948.
That is fantastic. So that has grown from that one doll, that one reserve unit, to a worldwide initiative, really.
And there's probably, I think, right around, I believe, little over 500 campaigns nationwide. Okay. Because the reserve units there are not that many reserve units. But then Marine Corps League takes it over, and that's what we are. Okay. And then there are some civilians that take them over. And we realize we're not the only game in town. There are other really good things. But because of our 501c3 status, the foundation, because we're so widespread, the foundation goes through an intensive audit every spring to keep their 501c3. So we can actually document and prove that over the years, I think it was between 93 and 94% goes, in other words, 94 cents of every dollar collected, some years have been up as high as 96, goes to a toy.
That is fantastic.
And part of that,
very, very small administrative costs. It's all about the mission. It's all about trying to get the stuff out to kids.
And now Foundation gives us the cardboard boxes. Right. They give us posters and a lot of this stuff here. And you say, well, how do you run an organization like that on that 3 cents? They won't tell us who it is. which makes me think maybe she's still alive.
Right.
But a while back, several years, a lady donated $30 million to Toys for Tots, and that set up a fund that takes care of that. And within Rocky Mount, we're very careful. We probably don't give some of the people who support us the awards we should, because awards cost money. We try to keep everything, going into toys. And although there are some corporate sponsors which let us order direct and probably have a little more bang for our buck, when we're spending money, we always try to spend it local.
Sure.
We spend it at the Walmarts, we spend it at Rose's, we spend it at Ollie's. They're the ones helping us collect the toys. And when I do speak with people and I say everything you give stays local, I think that's part of it.
Okay.
Now, getting the toys to us, probably the easiest way to actually get us a toy, if you're not working for a company like Pfizer or Engines, Cummings,
Yep.
not Cummings, that engine, I lost it. I'm losing everything.
That one a local industry here, Honeywell, Cummings,
that have in-house things, drop a toy off there. But sometimes it's hard if you go into your hairdresser and they've got a box there. Well, you don't think to bring a toy to your hairdressing appointment.
Right.
But that box reminds you that we have a campaign going. So next time you're actually in a Walmart or in Ollie's or in Rose's or one of the stores that has toys right there, you will see collection boxes. In the Walmarts and Ollie's, I mean, these are 4 feet by 4 feet by 4 feet.
Right.
And they're painted as bright red as that box over there. You can't miss them.
You're not looking if you miss it.
Drop a toy in. Because we're really concerned this year. On average, the last couple, 3 years, and I didn't go further back, but I could, but I think it pretty much always runs about the same. Last year, it was just a little over 2,000 kids. I think it was 2,058 actually was on the after action report. And we gave out over 8,000 toys. Okay. And I'm going to forward you some pictures of what that warehouse looked like last year.
We'll drop those in here.
And this year here, we've been kind of looking at some of the boxes, and they don't have very many toys in them. Of course, we don't. It's a little
early.
Well, it is and it isn't, because a lot of times we use the schools to let us know. The hard part is, how do you find the kids that need the toys, not just want them?
Right.
And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to give it to those. That's what people give us toys, because the toys are given to a child that would not have a Christmas if it weren't for their gift.
Well, I think you raise a great point too. With the advent of online purchasing, through Amazon, through other social media sites, internet sites. It's not as top of mind awareness. I don't walk in the store, I don't see the big red box. I don't buy the toy and say buy one extra and drop it in the box. So maybe it's something that folks need to be thinking about as they're sitting on Amazon or what other, online service to order toys.
I'm glad you brought that up, because
I think that ties to this COVID period as well.
We have a website, and it's real easy to remember this. You don't even have to have a pen and pencil. It's just RM, which stands for Rocky Mount.
Right.
rmtoysfortots.com. And there's a link in there that there actually is a place they can buy online. They pay the money, and they don't worry about that place ships it directly to us.
Oh, beautiful.
They gather it up, and they give us a date when they have so much, they'll send it. So that's on the website.
So I can link that up to my Amazon account, or link that up to, I don't know, I'm a pilot, to Sporties or whatever, and then they'll send it straight to you. I don't have to deal with what the address is, where the warehouse is, any of that. That's fantastic.
And this is the first year that we've had that.
Right.
And the nice part about it is, between now and next season, I can go to these companies like Pfizer and Engine Systems and some of these other folks and say, you can set one up that will be tracked. The people in the plant, instead of bringing the toy into the plant and dropping it in a box, at home they can shop, it'll get sent right to us. But that company at any given point can log in and see how many toys and what amount of money and everything was spent.
Right.
And
so bringing it back to the local component, this is a local initiative for local kids, and you're trying to support local businesses in that process. Yes. And you've had a number of great local partners like Joey Griffin over at the Kia dealership, and others in the community. You were telling me about a little bit earlier. Maybe you want to share some of that, because I think that's important.
There are some funny stories because number one of the contributors, which has been the largest for several years, was Faith Christian School, because they did this 6 basketball game night, and all the parents brought toys in. And earlier in the day, the elementary kids all brought a toy in, and we would take 23, 24, 25 boxes of toys out of Faith Christian School. And although they can't have their basketball night this year, they are collecting toys, and they've got 20 boxes over there. I'm hoping they fill every single one of them.
I think they do too,
The Banana Slap Jeep Club it's an organization that was, typically you think they just joined because they all have Jeeps, they all want to get muddy, and they all just want to have a lot of fun. But that particular club, almost from the day of inception, it started, has always tried to be a community club.
That's right.
They pick,
service organization.
They pick 3 to 4 really good, campaigns to help during the year. And a few years ago, they chose Toys for Tots to do it as their winter one. And in the past years, they're about challenging Faith Christian School for the toys. I've got some pictures I'll send with the Jeep Club.
Faith Christian.
And this year they actually did fundraisers. They've always been able to collect money from. See what they do. Now there's a club that all the members have some personal relationships, either with a barber or with a store of one sort.
We all do, right?
So they go to somebody who they know and say, "Here's the box, help us out." But then they can also go to those people and say, "Can you give me a check?" And some of them do.
Right.
So they've always raised quite a bit of money and really come up with toys. But I mentioned that just to say this: that on the 12th of this month. The 12th of December.
Right.
Is this December yet?
This is December. We have just gotten here, barely.
Right.
But yes.
They're going to have their final fundraiser. It's going to be in front of Joey Kia, Joey Griffin Kia, and they'll be selling hot dogs, chips, drinks, and at that point they're collecting toys. That'd be a great day. If you want to dump your toys someplace where there's a group of people that are going to be there with some excitement and a pat on the back. Get to Joey Griffin and support the Banana Club, on the 12th.
Right.
Have a hot dog and a cookie and a chips for $5, and they are doing some prizes and some raffles, so they're hoping to make it a good deal.
Yeah.
Some of the smaller organizations, Cliff Joyner has an Edward Jones office in Nashville, and a few years ago he sent out a Christmas note and then had all the people bring toys in, because they were able to have a Christmas party.
Right.
And he was very successful from the get-go and always has been. But what has been nice is now there's about 4 or 5 other Edward Jones in the area that are trying to compete with him. So
I think that's fantastic.
But now this year here, the reason we're really asking for help this year, a lot of this stuff won't happen. Faith Christian can't have their basketball night. Egg Carolina gave us a trailer full of toys the last couple of years. They told us they won't be able to do that this year because they always collected at company functions, and this year they can't have those company functions.
Right.
Now, some of the Edward Jones, they're hoping their folks will go ahead and just bring in a toy, but they're not going to be able to have their Christmas, social either. So it's going to be a strange year, and I don't think there's any doubt in anybody's mind that the need is going to be greater.
Right.
And we're losing some of the biggest contributors.
Well, the need's going to be greater, and the inventory is lower.
Ability to give is
Right.
is going to be hurting.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have 2 other questions for you. One is, you were telling me earlier that this was a one-man show for a couple of years, and it was almost enough weight to just really weigh you down, and you were fortunate enough to get some elves. And of course, we'll show a little shot of those guys. But I think this is something that volunteers would be a benefit to as well. So how would somebody volunteer to be part of this organization?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Now, on the 12th, also the 12th of December, Pfizer always brings in a group of people.
Okay.
And they'll be sorting toys and picking the toys.
Okay.
When it comes close to handing them out, which is right around the 15th through the 21st, we need people in the warehouse that'll go out and pick the toys.
Right.
In other words, the people who...
Well, that's the second question, I think. How do I get a toy if I need one? So I think it all kind of ties into the same answer.
So on the website again are the dates that we could use some help doing that.
And that's rmtoysfortots.com?
rmtoysfortots.com.
rmtoysfortots.com.
Yep.
So that's the website.
Yep. And then if you go into request toys, you'll see when we're handing them out, and then it says right there that's where we would need the volunteers to help us, because if we let the people getting the toys into where the toys are, then they're picking through trying to figure this out.
It's too big of an operation.
It can't work.
No, I understand. It's about just getting.
So yeah. In a moment, we'll show you the boxes how we do it. We separate by age and gender.
Okay.
And so if a mother has like a 3-year-old girl, a 5-year-old boy, and a 9-year-old girl, then that slip goes to the runner. The runner picks toys for those age groups out of the boxes marked.
Takes them back.
And takes them back. So there's no cherry picking or anything like that. Everybody has the exact
totally
same
random.
chance.
It's just whatever's next in line. And I guess this year you're going to be doing it in cars versus in person.
Yeah. There will be a drive-by. Yeah.
Okay. And all that's on the website.
Yeah. And the children, the hardest part when I was kind of a one-man show was how do you find the kids that deserve the toys, the ones that we're really supposed to be the ones that help. And people want to know this too. They want to know that toy is going to a child who's in need. And every year there's a conference in Virginia where all of the coordinators from all the campaigns around the country have to show up and be there.
Right.
And if you've ever been to a big company conference, you learn more in the after hours or at lunchtime than you heard in session.
Of course you have.
And I'd always heard that the schools know which children. And I come to find out that every one of our schools in the area that we service have a person from the Department of Social Services there who are working with these kids all year round, not just during the school year. So they give us the name. And then, of course, So
you really are working with cities and schools and that organization
we work
to be able
with
to identify
social service people that can really tell. Now, we don't turn anybody down.
Of course, I understand.
And if somebody comes to us, but we ask them to sign a statement that they're not double dipping. They're not going to Red Cross over here and coming to us and then going to Salvation Army.
Right.
Because
the idea is to stretch the resources.
We need to. We need to do that. And so we try to be as diligent as possible and use professional organizations to help us determine which children that really need us.
Okay.
And then
well, look, I think that's great. I appreciate you taking the time, and we're going to do all we can do to try to support Toys for Tots.
All right.
Hi, I'm Mayor Sandy Roberson.
And I'm Jennifer Roberson.
From our family to yours, wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.